Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Creative Sports Marketing Talk. Today, we're going to kind of go into everything you might have missed in this NFL's offseason, and we're also going to talk about 5 reasons why every business needs a website, so stay tuned. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to kind of get into the 5 things you might have missed in today's this NFL's offseason. And number 1, we're going to kind of get into it. Pass interference is now reviewable. Owners approve a preceded-shattering expansion of replay in the response to the massive audience that has talked about the pass interference calls. One of the biggest issues was the end of the NFC Championship game. Another one I like to bring up, which was about a year and a half ago, was a huge pass interference that should have been called on Julio Jones against the Seahawks. I think overall this is some good news. I think pass interference should be reviewable. I think that there's too many defenders out there that use it to their advantage, and even if it's a 30-yard catch or not a 30-yard catch towards the end of the game, I don't think that really matters. I think that they don't care about that 30 yards as long as there's not a touchdown involved when they're ahead in the game, things of that nature. So overall, I think this is some good news for the NFL. I think this is actually a rule that I think will really help. I've never felt anything wrong with reviewable plays. I think that it's something the MLB should bring in. I think it's something that really helps the game. I know there's a lot of controversy, people saying, hey, you know, the refs called this play wrong, the refs called this play right, things of that nature. But overall, I personally think, and I think it really helps with the players' brands, because I think it really helps them get noticed a little bit more when they're doing really good plays. I think that a lot of times the reviews could help things get overlooked. So overall, that's I think it's a good thing. Kyle Murray ushers in a new era. The Arizona's decision to make the 5'10" Oklahoma quarterback the number 1 overall draft pick symbolizes a major change in the league thinking. Teams have rarely exploited quarterbacks with similar height. So, I mean, I don't think this is that. They're trying to say this is a big deal. I know his height plays in a major factor in this situation. I tend to disagree with this pick. I think that the Arizona Cardinals should have stuck with their guns. I know they got a new coach, and I know they should have. I know they needed to think a little bit more in the fact of changing things up with that new coach, but I think that was a little too drastic. Let me know what all of you think in the comments below. Number 3, 5 teams change quarterbacks. And another one isn't too far away. I mean, I could go into all these different quarterback changes. I think this is pretty common. You can kind of look this up on ESPN, but as we just talked about, Joe Rosen with Murray on the Cardinals. The Denver Broncos required Joe Flacco from the Ravens and then drafted Drew Lock. The Broncos traded Case Keenum to the Washington Redskins and then drafted Dwayne Haskins. There's just so much movement going on in this quarterback, and it's very risky. I think it's very risky. Quarterbacks is one of the biggest and most beneficial on having a long term. I mean, if you look at Tom Brady, if you look at some of the greats, you can have someone on your team for a very long time. But at the same time, you also see a lot of these quarterbacks that are switching too constantly, and that they don't have time to build a team dynamic. I think that all rookies should be on the bench for at least 1 to 2 years at least to gain some knowledge of the NFL before they start going in. I think that they're doomed to fail, and it's not their fault when they get thrown right into the game. There's a few that it works with, but that's very rare. Number 4, Odell Beckham Jr. was traded. He was traded to the Cleveland Browns. We've We've talked about this in the past, and you can view an article on it on our Instagram. But I think this is a good move. I think the dynamics were changing over in New York, and I think that Odell Beckham Jr. really needed to go somewhere else and kind of test the waters. And number 5, this is the big one. The Steelers bid farewell to 2 of the 3 Bs. So Ben Roethlisberger is still there, but as you all know, Bell went to the New York Jets over free agency, and Antonio Brown also took a huge leap to Oakland. I think this is a good move. I knew there was a lot of drama around these 2 situations. We'll see. It's not good for Steelers fans, but I think that they needed a change in how their business was flowing and how the whole team was organized. So, to the marketing tip of the day, let's talk about 5 reasons why every business needs a website. So, whether you're an entrepreneur who's just starting out or an owner of an already established business, there are basic steps that you need to take in order to be successful, one of which is having a website. Having a website built can make a huge difference for your business and aid you in many aspects, including revenue, lead gen, and reputation. Even if you receive most of your business from referrals, creating a website for your business is still incredibly important. Not only do your customers expect it, but in this day and age, it's practically impossible to get by without one. Even the most basic website can help establish your credibility, bring you more leads, and create awareness. So let's go into the 5 legitimate reasons for creating a website for your business. Many small business owners make the mistake of thinking that they don't need a website when they're just getting started. They think a website will be too much hassle, or since things are going well for the business, one is unnecessary. However, they are gravely mistaken. Having a website, even a small or basic one, is crucial for your business, and let me go into some of the reasons why. Number 1 here, it establishes credibility for your brand and business. Having a website makes your business appear more trustworthy and professional. Consumers are more likely to invest their dollar in a product or service that appears to be high quality and reliable. They just trust your business more. In this day and age, a website is crucial, especially with people's attention spans. You need something on there. Number 2, it allows your customers to find you and contact you. Having a website puts you on the map. It gives people near you a way to find your business and contact you. Now, you can dive into that one a little bit more definitively with talking, hey, well, to make them find you, just putting up a website isn't going to do it. There's billions of websites. You will have to focus on some SEO or some other tactics to bring people to your website. But it still has a place that you can go out if you're doing a referral-based business and say, hey, find our website, get to know our services. It builds that credibility, and it helps them contact you at a later time. Number 3, you gain access to a wider audience. A website is by far one of the most effective ways to reach people. With the website, you can reach a much wider audience that will print than with print, radio, or other forms of advertising. And even if you're doing those print, radio, or other forms of advertisement, it's good to have a website because you still need them to go somewhere. Number 4, it's a cost-effective solution. A website operates 24/7 without the need of a brick-and-mortar location or staff. Now, I always say having a website when you have a brick-and-mortar is phenomenal. It helps so much with local SEO and bringing people to your store. But if you don't and you're an online business, it's crucial to have a website. Think of that as another employee. You hire a web development company, a branding company, and pay them $32,000 a year, up to $60,000. Seems like a lot, right? But you'd have to hire 2 or 3 employees just out of college. Well, maybe 2 employees for $60,000 a year, and you're not going to get even close as much benefit from them. It's a good starting off point. Eventually, over time, you can bring people in-house or have the marketing company delegate some of that work to somebody in-house, but it is still a cost-effective solution in the long run. Number 5, it allows your business to operate more efficiently. And this is probably the most crucial one. Having a website can save you tons of time on the back end. With a website, your customers can easily make purchases, set appointments, or obtain information. And remember, that's the key, obtain information. If you're doing your keyword research correctly, you kill two birds with one stone. So this gives you and your staff more time to devote to day-to-day operations. Those are some 5 tips on why every business needs a website. If you have any questions or concerns, or you would like to leave a comment, right below. Anything else, and you can always email me as well. So that's it for today, and always remember, connect by expression.